What are you going to say now that I have this unmatched championship that I didn't even consider going to? She went to LeBron James's youngest son's high school state championship game. If this championship mattered, she would have shown up because she could afford it. However, Angel Reese just got exposed and the internet isn't letting her get away with it. The so-called championship that she's being hyped up for actually didn't happen. IMM took to social media and Twitter and began posting, "Look at what Angel Reese has accomplished. She has a national championship at LSU. She was the rebounding queen of the WNBA, and now she has a championship in the Unrivaled, and she's Defensive Player of the Year." Well, that's right. While her teammates were out there working hard and fighting for a title, Reese was nowhere to be found. However, that didn't stop the media from trying to support her as though she was the MVP of the entire event. Let's celebrate, or is this just another instance of the media fabricating a story that doesn't match reality? Let's get started. Angel Reese's 3-on-3 full season highlights are my favorite. She should have won Defensive Player of the Year, but she didn't. I would have given it to the rim for the best plays from the best player on this account alone. Oh, you must see this one. It's my personal favorite. The footwork and hand-eye coordination are amazing. The Unrivaled League was supposed to Angel Reese was a member of the Rose who won the first ever Unrivaled championship last night. I suppose you can take a victory lap on that, but I'm not sure if it means anything. Let's be honest, almost no one was paying attention, and the so-called championship that Angel Reese won wasn't even real. It was a 3-on-3 tournament, a format that already has trouble attracting serious basketball fans. Angel Reese didn't even go to the game. She wasn't in the building last night, but naturally the media wasted no time in promoting it as though it were comparable to an NCAA or WNBA championship. These athletes constantly make themselves look worse. For example, in the final game, Reese's team faced Vinyl, a matchup that, let's face it, no one was discussing. Unlike real professional leagues with millions of viewers and real stakes, this tournament came and went with hardly any publicity. Even ESPN, which attempted to give it some coverage, couldn't make it seem like a huge deal. Why is it only women's basketball where we see athletes acting in this way is the only reason people are talking about it right now, because of the hilarious controversy surrounding Angel Reese's so-called championship moment. The worst part is that, while her teammates battled for the title, Reese was MIA, missing not only the championship game but also the final 2 playoff games. Despite this, she continued to act as though she was the team's leader, even though she wasn't there to support or contribute. She even FaceTimed into the post-game celebration when her team accomplished this incredible feat. Big this unmatched championship was. If this had been such a significant career accomplishment for her, wouldn't she have actually played in the game? Imagine Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, or Breanna Stewart missing a championship game and still expecting to be celebrated as if they did something. No, that wouldn't happen. ESPN covered this championship. Chelsea Gray scored 30 points or so last night in the championship game, and Angel Reese added this championship to her trophy case even though she didn't play in the previous 2 games. Naturally, social media hurried in to defend Reese's story, and her fans bombarded Twitter with posts calling her I want to reiterate that she is the best jumper I have ever seen. She leaps out of a gym with the relentless motor on her, and she never stops missing. No one has the drive to miss baskets quite like her shot number 2. Bang one more time, last one. But let's be honest, this is manufactured hype. Champion listing all her past accomplishments as if this random 3-on-3 tournament win was as meaningful as her LSU title or her WNBA stats. Another fan favorite, the touch and finesse, beautiful. And then her grace. All my lady listeners, don't give up, never again. Court leading her team instead of sitting at home and FaceTiming like a fan. The truth is that the media is trying desperately to make her a superstar, even though the facts don't support it. She thought so highly of this championship that she said, "No, I don't want to diminish the greatness of this championship by attending the game and rooting on my teammates, so I'll FaceTime in." No one wanted a 3-on-3 full-court women's basketball league, and no one paid attention to this, so let's create a social media campaign and act like we're plastering Reese's name all over headlines despite her not playing in the final 2 games, because we're going to build up this narrative that Angel Reese is one of the greatest athletes of our time, right up there with Steph Curry, and she's the face of women's basketball. This isn't the first time we've seen the media go to great lengths to promote her as the face of women's basketball. The Unrivaled League Championship is just the most recent example of them forcing a narrative that just doesn't hold up. Right there with LeBron James, she's right there with Kevin Durant, and she's won a championship at LSU and now in the unmatched league. For a moment, consider this: in any other sport, a player who misses the most crucial games of a championship is still given credit as though they were a major contributor to the team's success, but in the case of Angel Reese, the media is willing to change the rules. Let's not act like this was some elite-level tournament with top-tier competition. The biggest names in the WNBA, A'ja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Caitlin Clark, weren't even in the brand new 3-on-3 league with hardly any star power. Sabrina Ionescu, who was initially involved, backed out early because they know this isn't real professional basketball and the best players don't think it's worth their time. Let's go to social media and act like you care more about the unrivaled league than Angel Reese. Angel Reese was caught in the middle of one of the most embarrassing championship celebrations ever, and it turns out that she didn't even set foot on the court. No rims or backboards were damaged during the filming of this video, but viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang what bang. I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. I say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. They are step penning queen properly. Fair wages for all, I repeat. That's right, Reese was nowhere to be found during the final 2 games while her teammates were actually out there competing for the trophy. Fair wages. Keep in mind that people are coming to see her for a long time, but now let's get to the real question: is this a title worth celebrating, or is this just another instance of Reese receiving credit she didn't deserve? Let's get into the specifics and show how absurd this situation is. Naturally, social media didn't waste any time in spinning the tale, with Reese's fans calling her a champion and listing this so-called title alongside her LSU championship and WNBA rebounding statistics as if they were all equally significant. Let's face it though, this is just an exaggerated narrative. If this championship had truly mattered, Reese would have been on the court leading her team and proving she deserved the attention, but instead she phoned it in. I mean, max contract, we're talking about Curry land, we're talking about LeBron, and she brings all the attention. She's so good at everything that she can dunk too. Look at that Netflix. Listen to me. If the WNBA doesn't pay her, you're a better comedy special, man. Nobody else can do the hop, skippity, drop, step, bang better than her, and even funnier is that the Rose actually performed better without her. This is the uncomfortable truth that no one in the media wants to acknowledge. Instead of acknowledging that Reese's absence didn't hurt the team, they continued to push the illusion that she was the driving force behind this victory. But then came the most ridiculous part. Reese herself added to the hype by posting cryptic messages on Twitter after the game, such as "what y'all going to say now," as if she had just silenced her critics. However, what exactly was she proving? That a team this championship game was so pointless that she said, "No, I'm good, I'll watch from home, I'll watch this stream from home, and I'll FaceTime in if we win." That's right, this moment highlights the ongoing problem with how Angel Reese is marketed instead of letting her actual play define her. The media and her fans constantly try to inflate her legacy with artificial accomplishments. If she truly wants to be seen as an all-time great, she must prove it on the court, not through media hype, not through Twitter posts, and most definitely not by claiming a championship she didn't earn. We must endure the phony significance of double-doubles once more. Oh, no one gets hollow double-doubles like your girl Angel Reese. The real question is, however, how long can this illusion last before reality catches up with the narrative? The media can only promote this superstar label for so long before people realize that Angel Reese isn't the dominant force they are selling her as, and this latest so-called the championship merely serves to highlight the fact that there are 16 players who have a higher point average than Reese. She led the league in both rebounds and personal fouls per game, but her stats won't translate to the win very well because free throws only count for 1 point. Consider how real superstars are treated when they win championships. LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Breanna Stewart were on the court making the game-winning plays that proved they were the best, but Reese missed the most significant event of the tournament, yet the media still made her the talk of the event, which were her own missed setbacks. Now compare this situation to that of true competitors. For instance, every time Caitlin Clark plays, she is scrutinized. Every shot, every assist, every win, and every loss are examined. If she had missed a championship game, no one would have referred to her as a champion. Instead, they would have questioned why she wasn't present. The same is true for A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and other elite players. The expectation is clear: if you want to be a champion, you have to earn it. However, for Reese, the rules seem different. Rather than requiring that she prove herself, the media keeps making "I will give Angel Reese this. If you want to play in the major leagues and be someone who transcends the game, you need to have a personality. I will give her this because she has a personality, but it's ignorant, stupid. I mean, it's really stupid." If anything, this championship revealed a harsh truth. Her presence didn't make or break her team. They won without her, and that raises the question. They refuse to acknowledge that her team didn't need her to win. They ignore the fact that she did not contribute anything to the championship run. They give her another undeserved accolade and act as though it's legitimate. When players like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant won titles, they celebrated with their teammates, knowing how much work it took to get there. They weren't sitting on the sidelines FaceTiming into the moment and still expecting credit. If I were funding this league, I would say, alright, hold on, you got a golden goose, we all got one in Caitlin Clark. I would also question how valuable she really is, and let's not forget how she handled the aftermath. Instead of praising her teammates who actually won the game, she took to social media right away, making the victory about herself. It's becoming evident that Angel Reese's career is being supported more by media hype than actual dominance. Yes, she was excellent in college, but when it comes to the professional level, she hasn't proven she belongs among the elite. Her WNBA performances have been inconsistent, her shooting is unreliable, and her game still relies more on physicality than actual skill. The people who are hitting Caitlin Clark and talking as though they are as important as Caitlin Clark are hurting our opportunity and the brand at this point. The most prominent female athletes at the moment are Coco Gauff 10, Jugu Watkins number 9, Cameron Brent number 8, Paige Beckers number 7, Sabrina Ionescu number 6, Asia Wilson and Jakari Richardson, who was number 4, Simone B number 3, and Asia Wilson, who isn't going to be happy either. This unmatched league title may be the moment when the illusion begins to fall apart. Winning a glorified backyard tournament doesn't make her a champion, and missing the final 2 games and still taking credit for the victory doesn't make her dominant. Get over the fact that Angel Reese Caitlin Clark is behind Simone B. She won number 1, and I don't think that should surprise us. At the end of the day, real champions show up when it counts, take charge of their team's success, and let their performance speak for itself. Angel Reese had a great chance to do that, but she chose to celebrate a title that she had nothing to do with. The media can continue to push whatever narrative they want, but the facts remain. This so-called championship was pointless and did nothing to alter reality. Reese still has a lot to prove. The unrivaled league championship was merely an overhyped exhibition that hardly made an impression on the sports world, but here we are watching Reese take center stage for a title she didn't even compete for. The media wasted no time in portraying this as a turning point in her career, but the truth is that she missed the final 2 games and wasn't present when her team won, but she's still acting as though it's a historic moment. Caitlin Clark is changing the whole women's sports scene. Her dominance on the court has upended preconceived notions. Caitlin Clark's presence alone is increasing WNBA attendance by 105% compared to games without her, while road games featuring her Indiana Fever see an 87% increase in opponent home attendance. Her rookie debut caused a startling 200% jump in WNBA viewership, and home games drew a league-high 186,000 fans last season, a 265 increase from 20123. However, true basketball fans aren't buying into it. They know what true champions look like. Caitlin Clark's influence is changing the entire sports landscape. In contrast, Reese keeps riding a wave of media hype that exaggerates her accomplishments far beyond what they actually are. Will the hype machine continue to roll despite the obvious cracks in her resume, or will reality finally catch up to her? One thing is certain: if Angel Reese really wants to cement her legacy, she will need to start supporting the talk with actual results on the court rather than just viral tweets and carefully curated narratives. Champions don't sit on the sidelines and FaceTime into their own celebrations. They fight for their victories, lead their teams, and earn every trophy they lift. The only question is whether Angel Reese will be prepared to face the truth when the time comes. If so, will she let us know in the comments section? Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss it. Click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the following one.